If you have, say, contracted a habit of sin, struggling with a predominant fault, or struggling with faith itself, and entangled in your feet in the meshes of the devil's net. Maybe a spiritual disease has even laid upon you, a disease which is most difficult to shake off. Maybe it's pride, maybe it's anger, maybe it's a lack of humility and obedience. Now and then, when a sense of that terrible nature of your disorder flashes upon you, you struggle against it maybe at first. You make effort to rid yourself of it, but you often strive in vain. So then you try to seek those, say, physicians of the soul who have already so often, say, warned you or have guided you, which often would come in to help you, but in times gone by, maybe you laughed at their warning or didn't heed their warning and discarded their advice. But now you go to them again, or you try to recover. But how many relapses does, say, the habitual sinner experience? If you ever needed faith, it is surely now. And yes, faith in the power of God, faith in His willingness to help you, faith in His patient long-suffering for sinners. Yet even so, looking at the faith of the sick woman, and we can certainly not then despair. Because like her, you also must be humble and come to our Lord with sentiments which were similar to those which animated her heart, to touch His heart by the, say, completeness of your trust in Him. And if you should fall back, say, into evil ways, return again and again to Him in persevering and putting your hand to the plow. Go to those who hold His place, His priests, His ministers. Explain your malady to them, follow their advice, listen to them, be obedient to them. And with God's help, you will be freed from your disease. And if from time to time your good resolutions may fail, be not downhearted or discouraged. Still trust and believe in our Lord. In this month of November, it's always good for us to remind us of our end, as we are praying, of course, for the souls in purgatory. How would it be possible to sin or to remain in sin, enmeshed in whatever may be, pride, in disobedience, in entitlement, all these sort of things, if we but said to ourselves, I must die, and I know neither when, how, or where. I only know that if I die in mortal sin, I am lost forever. And on that thought has been to thousands a shield from which all the darts of the devil have fallen short. Sir Thomas More, St. Thomas More, at the time of Henry VIII, who was St. Thomas More was the Chancellor of England when he was in prison. His approaching death on the block to come, he was to be executed, of course, was certain, unless he would renounce his allegiance to the Catholic Church and accommodate himself to the will of the apostate of Henry VIII. And his wife visits him in prison and prays and tries to persuade him with many tears to obey the king and to renounce the Catholic faith. And St. Thomas looked at his wife with a very earnest expression, but a firm expression, saying, he told her, tell me, how long will I yet live? Should I do the will of the king and offend God? And his wife replied, he says, oh, surely maybe 20 years yet. And his answer was very curt and was very direct. He says, oh, you foolish woman, for the sake of 20 years, should I die miserably and plunge myself into the everlasting abyss? No, I will rather die than displease God. I will rather die the temporal than the eternal death. That is the speaking of a great man, of a great saint, of a great Catholic.